Hey, welcome to the channel, Collector's Life for me. Today we're going to be showcasing a couple Thundercats figures. So first off, we're going to be showcasing Panthro from Thundercats. This is the Mattel Third Earth 1/12 scale 6-inch figure. These were the initial release before Super 7 took over the toy line. So here's Panthro, the mechanic of the Thundercats. He's the strongest of the Thundercats. You can see how buff he is. Definitely got some big arms there. See him holding his claw chucks, I guess you could call them, but they're nunchucks with the paw claws on them. In the cartoon, he can spray chemicals from them, or he can use them like normal nunchucks. So, cool figure. Panther is actually my favorite of the Thundercats overall when I was growing up. I just like how he looked. Like that he was the strongest Thundercat. Paint job on this figure is pretty good. There's not a lot of paint color variation. It's got some different detailing. So a darker blue, in his ankles, and then if you see on the front here, a little darker blue into the lighter blue chest piece he has here. And then the chain is kind of like a thinned out metal. You can feel it. It's not fully plastic. You can feel the smoothness of the links. So yeah, I like this figure. I think this is one of the better figures in the line. Posability. He's got his shoulder joints here. They go out, stretch out. Ball joints up and down. He's got his elbow and wrist joints. So right now this left hand is a horizontal, left and right flexing. Same with his right hand. And these are the same two grips on those hands. Can do the splits. Rotate at the hip and groin there. Knee joint, knee bend. And then the ankles are really good on this figure. It's got a ball joint that the ankle can kind of rotate on, and then it can also move back and forth. So posability quality is pretty good. So one flaw I'll show you with the paint. It does chip pretty easily. So you can see there from him holding his nunchuck, you can see the silver. So that's the paint being scraped away. As far as his body, no real paint issues there. Okay. So let's move on to the accessories. Panthro comes with his nunchuck paws, and he also comes up with this other weapon. It's two nunchucks put together, and it's supposed to look like he's twirling them. So here's the red one, and there's the blue one, and it just pops into this hole. Yep, you can twirl it. The display's takes up a little more space, and I don't think it looks as cool as intended, but it's, an extra weapon, so that's nice. And then he also came with key to the castle. There it is, with the Thundercats emblem on there. These came with only one head sculpt. The Super 7 line typically come with 2 head sculpts, and they also usually come with multiple hands. The Mattel line, he only has 1 extra hand. So this is a left hand grip. And as you can see, I have him holding the Thundercats communicator that he comes with. So that's it for accessories on him. Nothing too crazy, a decent amount. There's one more. His strap here, or his clothing, does have a little buckle in the back that comes off. So I guess technically you could say this is an additional accessory, if he was having to work hard. Take that off. You can see what a buff Panther looks like in just some underwear and some boots. So it's cool. Who's ready for a little story time? So the story here is based around my original, somewhat original Panthro. So this is from the original 80s line. You know, they were kind of similar to the He-Man build. Big chest, no posability in the legs. A lot of wrestling figures were like this as well. It's got the clip on the back so he can look like he's twirling his nunchuck, hitting himself with it there. So, cool figure. Like I said, Panthro was my favorite Thundercat growing up, and actually one of my favorite toys. So the story, it's not such a pleasant story, but I got in trouble one day, and my dad got pretty pissed off at me, and I went and hid from him in my room up in my bunk bed, like the furthest corner, so that he couldn't get to me or discipline me or whatnot. Anyways, he came into the room and my Panthro toy was on the floor, and in his anger he decided to just pick it up and Roger Clemens it right at me, and it missed me. Not by much. I was probably like 6 or 7 years old, so memory's a little vague on those details. But Panthro smashed against the wall and he just exploded. Arms popped off, pieces broke, and it was beyond repair. And so that was the end of Panthro for me when I was a kid. Well, I was going through a bunch of my dad's toys. He had kept some of my collections and stuff, and I was going through them. And this figure was in the collection. So at some point in time, he must have found one either at the yard sale or ordered it online. But he replaced it for me. He never told me about it, which I find kind of interesting. But it's kind of cool. I guess he must have regretted that in some form, and he must have remembered the story too, because I don't see why he would have just bought this specific figure sometime down the road and then put it in with my other Thundercats figures. So, kind of interesting story, but that's the original Thundercats, and a memory I will have forever. So now we'll check out the boxing for this. So, like I said, this is the Mattel line. So this is kind of their outer sleeve shipper. So not much going on this box. You've got the Thundercats emblem there. You've got the Thunder base there. And then on this side, you've got Panthro himself giving a ferocious mean mug there. So there's that. And then that's the same art that's on the back of the inner packaging. So you can see that there with the description of the character on the back. I always like the art on the back of these packages. And then the front of the package, decent for display purposes. Now we'll move on to the second figure that we're going to be showcasing today. So here is Pumaira from Thundercats. So she's kind of the medicine warrior or medic of the Thundercats clan. So here you can see her holding her little boomerang star. And then she's got a little belt whip here. A little satchel here that is part of the mold. It does not come off. Pumaira wasn't really one of my favorite Thundercats. I preferred Chitara myself as far as characters go. Cooler skills and everything. But the best quality of this figure here is probably her face sculpt. Pretty good sculpt there with the long hair on the back and hair coming down the sides there. Nice little outfit on her. Paint job's decent. Nothing crazy. She has all the same posability. A little taller of a frame, and as you can see, a lot thinner. So I will say one flaw in this figure, which seems to be common across the entire line for posability, is the taller, skinnier figures have a tougher time holding their poses or standing on their own. It seems like they have smaller ankle joints that become looser. And so I have had some issues with her being one that every now and then I find falling over on my shelf. Also, this boomerang falls out of her hand a lot. It's like she can't grip it as well as she should be able to. It's almost like this thumb up is preventing her from having a full grip on this. so it does just kind of slide out or pop out. And you know, maybe a little bit of tacky putty will help that if somebody really has an issue with it. It's, you know, not that big a deal, but something that could be improved. And then her left hand is like this pointing open hand. I'll show you, just like all the other Thundercats, they use a peg hole that you just pop out and pop in to swap out the hands. She does come with 2 sets of hands. Her other 2 hands. She's got a right hand fist and then another left hand thumbs up. Now this one does seem to hold her little boomerang star better, but when I don't like the fist on display, because she was known as a character that avoided fighting if she needed to. So it just seems like it's too aggressive for her to have a balled fist, in my opinion. This little belt piece does come off. There's just a little piece there, because she does have this as a weapon. It's like her little whip. It's designed to throw these little chemical balls. Maybe they're like gas explosives. Willy Kit and Willy Cat, I think they use similar. I think they're the ones who make these. And they throw them at the bad guys. That's kind of cool. You can change that out. I like the fact that they make it so this belt comes off easily. It doesn't make it weird that she's got 2 sets. So we'll try to keep her standing. I don't know if it'll work. Show off this last piece. This accessory is kind of disappointing. I can't remember if this is some sort of healing crystal or whatnot, but the paint job's terrible. It's no detail. Kind of looks like somebody just slabbed a gob of blue paint on there and walked away. Same with the this gold element. Seems like there could just be a little better variation to make it cool. So there's that. So that's what she comes with as far as accessories go. Decent figure. If I wasn't so into the entire line, it's probably a figure I would pass on, mostly though because I wasn't a big fan of her character. And I don't know, figure doesn't do too much for me, but she's still part of the Thundercats, so she's in there. And she was, you know, for the Mattel line, they didn't get to produce many of these before Super 7 took over, so there were only a handful of figures in the line in the first place, and she got the pick. Now we'll show her a little box packaging. So there's her outer box. Angry face there. You know, she really looks like the Willy Kid and Willy Cat. I don't know, you know, how related they are as far as kind of cat or, you know, direct lineage. And then this is her. So there's the back of her blister packaging. Looks like she got another piece of art here on the side. Looks kind of nice. And then the front of her blister packaging. So thanks for checking out these figures with me today. Hopefully I can get through the entire line within the next few weeks. I had some issues with my video editing software, so I actually lost a bunch of videos I had already done on these figures. And I'm going to try to pump them out pretty quick so I can move on from the line. I'll probably do multiples in a single video as opposed to doing a individual character per video. So, but thanks for watching, and beyond that, enjoy your day.